Mark this day in history, Monday the 9th of December, the day filmmaking changed forever. Now, I've only just heard about this, I've just looked it up, and if you've probably been looking at the tech news, OpenAI Sora has released, and to be honest, I'll just tell you straight away, it is going to change filmmaking forever. Nothing will be the same again, and we will go into all this. We will find out what this actually does, how it's going to change filmmaking, what it means for me, maybe what it means for you, what it means for Hollywood and all the people working in it. I think I've got a pretty good take on this. As you probably know, filmmaking is kind of important to me. I think about it a lot. I kind of know what I'm talking about because I spend a lot of time thinking about it. I think I've got a good take on it. That's all I'm going to say. You be the judge. Leave it in the comments. Do your usual fake YouTube things, as you know. Just see what you think. This is not necessarily going to be spicy, or maybe it'll be spicy for Hollywood people. I don't know. But they probably don't watch this channel anyway. All three of you watch this channel. Stay watching. It's going to be good. And mark my video in history, because I think I've got a pretty good understanding of where this is going. And annoyingly, maybe for you Linux people specifically, I had a video planned today. That's all gone. That'll be done tomorrow now. I'm very sorry, but this is too important. I can't not talk about this. Well, that's not a bad intro for once. Not too long. Will that make you happy, all you people who don't like my intros? Or don't like my videos anyway? You won't be happy. So yeah, let's just get into it. Let's look at the screen. So, well, I saw this article. I don't know if TechCrunch are a good or valid website, but I cross-referenced them to the actual OpenAI Sora website, which we've got up on here, and they seem to just summarize nicely what's in the OpenAI Sora thing. Now, we will go into what Sora actually is, but I will just say this was also used and reviewed by a certain person, famous YouTuber. I don't know why I'm not going to mention him. I don't really watch his videos, but he's a very big deal, and he had some issues with it. But we're not going into the actual... we're not testing this, obviously. I do not have access to this. And if you're in the EU, you don't have access to this yet anyway. Probably in the coming weeks, months, whatever. But apparently some issues. But that doesn't really matter. This is in principle and ultimately in practice. This is going to change everything. This is bigger than digital cameras. This is bigger than CGI. This is literally almost the... as important as the birth of cinema itself, and I'm going to tell you why, obviously. But I just thought I'd get all this kind of stuff out of the way. As you know, long intros. My intro should have ended, but hey, that's how it is. So, well, let's just have a little look. So, it's what is it? What is it? You're thinking, what is this thing? If you don't know anything about this, you probably know what OpenAI is. OpenAI is an AI company, and I don't really have too many pro or negative opinions on them. My opinions on AI in this regard don't really matter, because this is a very specific thing. Maybe I'll talk about AI more in the future, but we're just going to talk more about this specific language learning model, and this is available for ChatGPT Pro and Plus subscribers, so you have to pay money, and this is where it's going to get juicy. This is going to change everything, okay? So if you've got a subscription and you're in probably the US and certain other countries, you in theory will have access to this from now, right now, okay? So they're doing, you know, here's the press launch, all this kind of stuff. We don't care about that. We don't care about the press launch. What is it going to do? How's it going to work? So you get credits, okay? If you've got a Pro or a Plus ChatGPT account, gotta hate saying that, it sounds so annoying, but if you've got a Pro or a Plus account, you get credits. And the credits generate the videos. Okay, so we're just going into how this thing actually works. So the credits give you so many seconds of generating video footage. So this is a video generator. Okay, that's as simple as it is. If you think of those previous things like image generators and your chat GPT prompt, that prompt gives you like a summary, a text summary of something, an instruction based on these large language models. You can look up AI or large language models. I'm not going to do that for you. You probably know more than me about it anyway. If you're a Linux person, I don't know, maybe you don't. But we're just setting the ground here, okay? So here we go. What do you get? So 480p videos generated at the cost of 20 to 150 credits, 720p videos, 30 to 540, all that. Now that's, none of this really matters because there's a nice little table here somewhere where this just puts it out nicely. But so you get the sense, the better the quality of video, the more credits you have to use. So how expensive is this thing going to be? So let's actually look at the pricing. What does this mean? So we don't want this page, that's just the general information, we'll come back to that. So here we go, this is the good stuff. Okay, now what we're looking at here is here we go. So we have the ChatGPT Pro. So that tells you 500 priority videos, that's 10,000 credits, unlimited relaxed videos. We're not too worried about that. We just want to focus on the priority videos. Although the relaxed videos are good, up to 1080p resolution, 20 seconds duration, and 5 concurrent generations. So if I get that right, you can make 5 concurrent generations on the 20-second duration. So effectively you've got a minute and minute 40 worth of video, or 5 cuts of 20 seconds. Is that making sense? Let's not worry too much about that, just because let's just do the maths on this. Okay, now I know how much a ChatGPT Pro account is. I looked this up. It is $200 a month. Okay, now if you do the math on this, 500 priority videos, 10,000 credits. Now you only get to do this once a month and your things do not roll over, but you're getting effectively generation of a feature film. It works out about 166 minutes worth of footage, although times that in theory by 5 on the concurrent generations. I'm not exactly sure, but let me put it this way. You can get a rough cut, your first cut of a film for $200. You can completely generate an entire feature film using prompts, using still images or video, and we'll look at that briefly, but that is absolutely mind-blowing. Okay, that is unbelievable, is it not? Just put that in perspective, and we'll just therefore let's cover then, what would a normal film production be like? Say you're not Hollywood, okay? This is where this is really going to make a difference. I will summarize what this will mean, but effectively for $200 you can visualize a feature film. You could make Blade Runner, for example. I'm not going to say you're going to make Blade Runner, but you could make Blade Runner, or let's non-art film student type people who don't know cinema or don't care about cinema, you could make a Marvel film for $200, a rough cut. If you had a vision, if you had storyboards, if you had still images, video images, you could effectively make a rough cut of a superhero film for $200. Just put that in perspective. I'm not advocating that, I'm just saying what is literally technically possible. And the point is this is priority videos. So these will be generated you as priority, you will get these. The relaxed ones are more ambiguous, you have to wait for them to be generated. But in 1 month you could have a feature film that cost you $200 that looked like a Marvel film. Let that sink in. That is astonishing, okay? That is like nothing ever seen before for filmmakers without money. Or let's say the general public. The general public can now make anything. Should the general public make anything? No. But we've seen this in smaller groundbreaking changes, such as the digital camera, like I'm filming here, allowing people who can't afford film, physical film, or all this stuff to get a cheap digital camera and make films. People have done this, some successfully. And then the higher end, obviously film is predominantly filmed in digital now, higher end with expensive cameras, but it allowed people not having to purchase a darkroom, film stock and all this equipment. You could just do it on a digital camera. Amazing. This goes even further. Now think, if you are me, I don't have to scout for locations anymore. I don't have to pay money and licenses. I don't have to find actors. I don't have to spend tens and tens of thousands of pounds on equipment, even just half decent camera setup, lenses. No, I don't have to rent them, borrow them. Just the pure physical labour, all the things that can go wrong. Now you can do it here. Now you might be thinking, oh, but isn't this terrible? Isn't this bad? Well, I don't think it's going to affect the things you think it's going to affect. When we're talking Hollywood, I don't think it's going to affect Hollywood like you think. This changes everything for the normal person, for the everyday person. This gives people who never had the opportunity to make cinema filmmakers. Okay? Now you could say, well, this takes the craft out of it. I'm not a big AI advocate, but this changes everything. This is honestly, nothing like this has been seen before. The technology is clearly only going to get better. We've seen this with other AI generators. On the technical side, whether you think AI is good or bad, that is its own argument. Whether you think this is good or bad for cinema, or good in principle, moral, I don't know. I'm just telling you, this will change everything. This is an extraordinary moment in cinema. You will never see anything probably like this again. So how does this then work? How does it work? Well, I'm not going to go into all this, but it gives you, it tells you here. So here we go. You've got all these different things. So you can choose, describe your video. Okay, so here we go. Put in a prompt. Now, I'm not saying this is probably the best way, but I'm not exactly sure if you can do it in combination. I don't want this video to go on too long. I just want to give you a summary of how it works and how it's going to change cinema. So here you go. You can like add pictures, you can add footage, you can set the aspect ratio, you can set the resolution. And here you go. You can add a storyboard. Now, storyboarding is by definition your visual representation of an image. And therefore you can visualize exactly what you want, and this will generate it. That is A grade filmmaking magic right there. If you literally know what you want your scene to look like, put in your storyboard, it will generate, or put in your image. Now, I think the storyboard is more about like recutting stuff, remixing, describe changes, so you can change your video. Again, I'm not even going to get into this because I don't want this video too long. I just want to tell you how I think this is going to change Hollywood. You can read all this, how this is going to change normal people. So I've gone into how this changes for normal people. So then, how does this affect Hollywood? Well, I don't think it's a big change necessarily. What I think will change, so all these people picketing, actors, writers going, oh, Hollywood is under threat and Hollywood is going to get taken over by AI. Well, just think about this. We had lesser revolutions, although very significant. Netflix and others. What happened? We've had television, even radio. See, people presume radio maybe came before cinema. No. Cinema is the original digital and analog art form, if you like. Or not, that's not even the right way. Mechanical art form, or I don't even know. Modern art form, let's just say. Apart from photography. Maybe they're overlapping magisterium, maybe they're not. I'm not going to get into that. But when television came out, everybody said, then nobody's going to go to the cinema. We need to do something radical. We'll introduce 3D and all this stuff. 3D died, nobody cared about it. Keeps dying, nobody cares about it. People still went to the cinema. TV did not kill off cinema. Netflix. Oh no, Netflix is going to destroy cinema. Cinema has not been destroyed. Cinema is still going. Now, I've got my own arguments why cinema creatively has been destroyed. I don't think this is going to do it. What's going to happen then? What will this be the thing that Warner Brothers and Disney now use to make their films? They don't need actors. They don't need people. They don't need crews. They don't need locations. Well, no. Really, all this might be used for is a cut-in replacement for CGI. Maybe, maybe not. You see, people go to the cinema to see intellectual property like Marvel and others, and Warner Brothers and I guess all the big studios are going to continue doing that. People are going to go to the cinema to see Marvel. They're not going to, I'll be honest, they are not going to generate Marvel on this. I just don't see it. What they're going to do is maybe use this as an additional tool for generating computer-generated imagery, doing some post-production effects, maybe, or something like it. It might not even be OpenAI, Sora. It might be something else. So, really, what it affects is you. You out there. Right now, if you have a pro account, in a month, you can make a feature film that looks like a Marvel film. That's how I'm going to summarize it. That is the power of this technology. You can talk and we can talk, is it good or bad? I just don't think it's going to change Hollywood. I think it's going to revolutionize filmmaking for the majority. Anybody in theory can make a cinema feature film. Also, the argument is you could put in a prompt and it could generate something for you. Well, I mean, this requires some work. You know, it's giving you like a 20-second video. Maybe, who knows? It's going to obviously include all kinds of enthusiasts. Now, what I would say as well, if you have the opportunity and this interests you, get on this right now, because I think OpenAI are burning through billions and billions of dollars. I don't know how long they can sustain something like this, rendering all this kind of video. They must be hemorrhaging money. I don't know how much money they're getting. Maybe they're getting enough, but they must be burning for it. For $200, you can make a feature film. Imagine that. 6 months, if you were a serious filmmaker, you could, I don't know, you could make, depends how good your work rate is, how efficient you are, how good you are. You could probably make a final cut of a film in 6 months. No production, just post-production and pre-production. Write your screenplay, storyboard it, and use Sora. Now, is it going to be perfect? Probably not. We've heard about these things, but it's only going to get better. It's obvious about that. There's no point pretending. Technically, these things get better. Again, I'm not going to go into the morality of it. This is a game changer. Mark this date, the 9th of December. Monday, the 9th of December, okay? Anyway, wow. I'm not saying this was an amazing video, but this video, I think I've summarized what's going to happen perfectly. Maybe it won't happen. Maybe this is a non-event that has just been overblown. Maybe this is the other AI. What do I think of AI? I don't really care. I think AI is exaggerated in itself. I'm just specifically talking about this technology. Maybe we'll cover these things in future videos. I couldn't miss talking about this. Being interested in film, being a filmmaker. Anyway, so there we go. Bit off the beaten track there, maybe not. That's it. So yeah, maybe you should let me know what you think on that one, because actually I think it would be quite interesting. I don't know. Fake YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do. Wow, what a day.